Hey, hey. Today we're talking about living in a post constitutional America. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights are no longer viable. I'm sad to report. And until they are upheld and adhered to, we will continue down this road of corporate oligarchy. Our politicians and officials take their oaths to protect and defend the Constitution and then proceed to defecate all over it and our liberties and our future. Our, meaning we the people. Um, we're the ones without the connections. The Constitution, it impedes the cathedral and the government specifically from manipulating us and the system. It hampers them from the caste system that they want, that they have, the caste system of the ivory tower versus us filthy peasants. And there's a reason that this Constitution, the American Constitution, is the oldest in existence, because if adhered to, it works. It works for us, not them. Not the cathedral, not the government, not big tech. It works for us, the citizenry. I hate that word. I like that word, but I can't say it. We the people. The Constitution is a set of negative liberties for the government and those in power. Do you know? Do you know how rare that is? Real liberty and freedom for society and cultures throughout our history makes up about 1% of our entire human history. I mean, think about it. We've gone through monarchies and theocracies, feudalism, dictators, tyrants, despots, popes, pharaohs, Caesars, for about the last 5,000 years. And before that, it was just predatory tribalism. I mean, literal tribalism. So on an anthropological level, freedom is really not our natural state when compared to the past. We've had a taste of it, and I'm not going to give it up. Sorry, guys. The Bill of Rights and the Constitution simply puts what we as a people can do, what we can do, and what our inherent rights are, and what the government cannot do. It's negative liberties. It's been twisted over the years, where I've heard too many constitutional scholars say that the Constitution is a set of negative liberties for us. It's a negative liberties for the government. We haven't really truly been free as a country for about 100 years. Going back to the early 1900s, when we got pushed into World War I unnecessarily. We had no business getting involved there. World War II, yeah, we were very justified into getting involved there. I mean, even without Pearl Harbor, I think we should have gotten involved. Anyway, that's a subject for a different video. But yes, World War II bad, World War II good. Yeah, so as of the last 100 years, thanks to FDR's Great Society, Woodrow Wilson's progressive agenda, the establishment of the Federal Reserve, to name just a few examples of how they've been whittling away our freedoms ever since. That was the beginning of the end of our real freedoms. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. But since we're not taught any real history anymore, we've grown fat and lazy and told to sit down and shut up and go to our doggy beds, and then maybe we'll get some scraps off the table later from those in power. We feel free. You know, I can still go to the store at 3 a.m. and get some ice cream. And we can still do lots of things that many people on the planet can't. I'm aware of that. But the cathedral has been biting on the edges of our once free country for far too long. They pick and choose winners, and losers in the market. In business, they obfuscate and they overcomplicate systems and institutions like the markets and healthcare and schools, pulling strings and making deals that make it harder and harder for us as plebes to get ahead, have a voice, or even live the lives of our choosing. Example, we have to live by a budget. Just example, we as a family unit here, if we don't pay the electric bill, electric gets shut off. Why isn't the government held by the same standards? That's our money. We're required to spend money wisely, so should they. But the government isn't required. And remember, they don't make anything. They provide some services, some necessary services, but they don't make any products. It's a perfect example of rules for thee and not for me. And that brings me back around to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. If not adhered to and vigilantly if not adhered to and enforced, we get what we have today, a population apathetic and lazy from bread and circuses. We're too busy fighting amongst ourselves to notice what they're doing. And like I said, we feel free. Well, I don't know. Ask somebody who lives in New York or California right now if they feel free. Can they worship like they want? Can they freely associate with who they want? Can they act like they want? And I'm not calling for, total anarchy. Just what's written in the founding documents would be nice. And they're not perfect. I don't worship the Constitution. But it's the best that we've got. The best that's ever been. We haven't lasted this long without it. Now, it's been ignored and trampled on and spit on. But if adhered to and enforced, and it's the whole enforcement thing that I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around. The libertarian in me, I'm adamant. I completely agree with the non-aggression principle. But there has to be consequences for those that break the rules. And I include myself in there. I mean, the jackboot comes down on me hard when I break the rules. But not the ivory tower. I'm sick and tired of them climbing the ladder of success and then pulling that ladder up behind them so nobody else can. can have success. Like I said, and they want us fighting amongst ourselves. They love it to see us go Democrat versus Republican, the left versus the right, because it prevents us from seeing behind the veil. It's going to have to get worse before it gets better, and I'm holding on to hope that as it gets worse, others will wake up to it. And here's where please hit like and subscribe. And a shout out to the Mises Caucus libertarians. You guys have all the answers to all these problems we're having. If people would just listen to the real libertarians in the Libertarian Party, not the purists, not the not the terminally, not those that are wed to the loser tag of always wanting to be the outsider and just too afraid of selling out. No. The Mises Caucus, Dave Smith. I'll put his a link in the description there. Look him up. They're trying to reform the Libertarian Party, which would give a third leg to this awful political system we have of Democrat. It's R&D. It's a two-legged stool that falls over, and I'm tired of the. It's two sides of the same coin when it comes to Republicans and Democrats. If the Libertarian Party can provide that third leg, it can keep everybody honest and let everybody know that there is an option. Take a look at them, give them some support if you can, and maybe we can get through all this. I hope so. I got kids, so there.